Long ago, there were beings by created Prime himself, the first ritual Transformers, called 13 Prime, the legends of the powerful godly beings. The first one was Prime, the first Matrix battle, created the starter set. He carried the Matrix leadership. His sword was created by one of the other 13 Prime, was named Solus Prime, the original Prime. Next is Vector Prime, the guardian of time, space, who will travel the multiverse, keep the balance in check between timelines. The multiverse travel itself. Next is Alpha Trion, who created the Covenant of Promise, and one who helped teach Optimus Prime to be the next Prime. Next is Solus Prime, who carried the Forge Solus Prime, used his power to create many weapons. The Requiem Blaster, the swords, that Optimus one day would use in the future. Next, Requiem Blaster itself, the four Enigma combinations. Next is Micro Prime, the father of all Mechons. He created all Mechons himself. These Mechons one day will survive the attack of Black Cloud Consortium. Next is Alchemist Brian. Alchemist Brian was a drinker, but he's a kind, noble Prime. One day he disguised as Mechatronis, a bartender for all Transformers itself. Next is Nexus Prime. Nexus Prime is a Transformer that is the first combined himself, or to combine made form himself. He had made Nipple combination with help Nova Prime, but there's an accident. Monstructor was a monster, was a failed experiment of the combiner himself. Next is Onyx Prime. Prime is a first beast mode. Onyx Prime made more himself on Jungle Planet. Made more of these transform had the ability to transform to beast mode itself. Soon one day become Maximals. So themselves. These soon there became more. The Predacons themselves and the Dinobots. And Optimus one day will meet his brother in the future. Next is Elvenar Spring. Miss Prime was a transformer that can mix by anyone who created the T-Cogs. One day he treated a Prime named Optimus Prime, who used T-Cog, will name Optimus Prime DJ, who uses power. He's a kind, gentle. Next is Quintessa Prime. So created Quintessons themselves. They made other Quintessons. Next, Quintessons were Quintessa, the Prime of Life himself. Next is Leo Maxwell, a trickster and deceiver. Leo was one of the evil primes, one who not despite many others, who tricks you, but one day Son of Prime killed him, put an end to his threat. Next is Mechatronis, one that will come to fall. Megatron was a prime who just made dark, but he had good in his heart though. He was the one who tried made plans doing hard to help his race. But one day he just fall. Next father was Jetfire and Jetfire's father. One of themselves. Jetfire one day will become an Autobot. By itself, help Optimus. Jetfire was once a Decepticon, but he was never more again. His father was never seen again as well. Following went to distant planets, collecting songs. One day, Solus Prime and him were great friends. Then one day, they become lovers themselves. Sadly, this didn't last for Leo Maxwell was manipulating Tron's anger and rage against the Primes, and then consume him with darkness himself. Anger, sadly, this accidentally, his rage blinded him, killed Solus Prime, his lover. Blamed himself for it, tormented. Maxwell went mad against other Primes, but Prima and Optimus' father, Optimus Prime, might win against him, and join their power to banish him for all eternity itself. Following one day will return, but one day he will be defeated by one of his brother, Optimus Prime, the 13th Prime, put end to his demise, and defeat him. With Jetfire's help, they combine to one powerful form, use that power to fight against Megatron, the next leader Decepticons. This battle ranged in 2009. Megatron defeat Megatron, and then he defeated the Fall, and one more defeated him, ending his threats once all, and avenged his ancestors. Next, it's original 13 Prime, who was Optimus Prime. He was named Ryan Pack, but then one day he was formed using the Matrix to become Optimus Prime once more. Optimus Prime led his Autobots against the Decepticons for millions of years. The battle that started by Megatron, once his old friend, was consumed by the Fallen, soon turned hunger power monster. Megatron was soon turned by evil and blamed jealousy and anger on his brother. Then this started the Third Great War. The violent war spread for 4 million years. This battle lasted over millions of years. This battle was a tense battle that never stopped it. Last minute, it brought many things in the war. So much things happened. Because this, Cybertron soon would become drained of energy. All the destruction. One day, Autobots, when they must leave, built the Ark, made others escape as well. They fled off. Prime was poisoned by dark energy coders. Prime must be shut down for millions of years. Prime was in stasis. Zergons did follow the Autobots and followed them to Earth. They went on many journeys, but then they all crashed land on Earth. Then they all one day woke up in 1984. The battle for Earth had begun. The war began once more. Autobots battled once more. All Zergons. Autobots had many battles over 20 years. Optimus never gave up. Kept going, even though it was the hardest times for him. He still continued this path, fighting against Megatron. Even though it was hard, he never gave up. It always gave him courage and strength to fight against his evils. He defeated many enemies, including Unicron himself. One day he will return. He had powerful energy blades that are hot magma from the sun itself. Can cut through anything. They use them 2 swords and axe at one. He has 2 iron blasters that can blast through anything, and a Night Icon sword they can use his will as power. He's common and a father figure who never give up. They fight against his brother Megatron. They were once allies, but they are no. They fight against her. One balance against one another. One day, Oz hopes that he can defeat to help bring peace and justice back to the universe.